Carrying multiple consumer debts functions like a heavy iron anchor. It exhausts your monthly income and severely restricts your ability to build long-term wealth. Credit card minimum payments act as a mathematical trap designed by banks to keep borrowers indebted for decades. Paying only the standard 2 to 3% minimum on a $5,000 balance with a 25% interest rate takes over 11 years to clear. By the end, you have paid nearly $4,000 in interest alone. When you decide to attack the principal, you are immediately confronted with deeply conflicting advice from financial experts on the best way to proceed. Experts separate into two camps: those who argue for paying off the highest interest rate first to save money, and those who prioritize the smallest balance first to build emotional momentum. Success requires aligning your repayment strategy with your specific psychological profile. By weighing mathematical models against behavioral science, we can identify the specific path that yields a zero balance for your situation. The debt avalanche serves as the primary strategy for minimizing total interest costs. This diagram shows accounts ranked by their highest APR. APR stands for annual percentage rate, which is the total cost of borrowing expressed as a yearly percentage, including interest and fees. You funnel every extra dollar of available cash strictly into the debt with the highest interest rate, while paying only minimums on the rest. Once the first account is cleared, you immediately redirect that cash flow to the next highest rate on your list. This method reduces the total interest paid to the bank and technically shortens the total time you spend in debt. The trade-off involves the timeline of success. If your highest interest debt carries your largest balance, it can take months or years of consistent payments before you actually close an account. While perfect on a spreadsheet, the lack of visible, early progress creates a psychological hurdle. This often leads to motivation fatigue and high abandonment rates in the real world. The debt snowball prioritizes human behavior by ignoring interest rates entirely. As this diagram shows, you sort your accounts from the smallest total dollar balance to the largest. You pay as much as possible towards the smallest debt first to wipe it out quickly. When that account hits zero, you take its former payment amount and roll it into the next smallest debt, increasing the force of your payments as you move down the list. This strategy rapidly eliminates individual accounts, delivering emotional quick wins and reducing the number of bills you must manage each month. There is a cost to ignoring the math. You pay a behavioral tax in the form of more total interest accrued over the payoff's life because high-interest loans stay active longer. The snowball method trades financial efficiency for the psychological momentum required to keep a borrower engaged in the long-term fight. Between these two methods, which one actually results in more people becoming debt-free? Rigorous behavioral studies from Harvard Business Review and Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management have analyzed real-world repayment data. The data shows that borrowers using the snowball method have a significantly higher success rate in eliminating their overall debt compared to those attempting the avalanche. The underlying psychology suggests that human motivation responds to the portion of a balance eliminated rather than the abstract mathematics of an interest rate. For the majority of people, trading spreadsheet efficiency for real-world efficacy is the most reliable way to prevent a relapse into debt. Both strategies share a major requirement. You must have extra cash each month to put toward your principal. If you lack extra cash, you may need structural changes, like debt consolidation loans or balance transfers. A balance transfer is the process of moving high-interest credit card debt to a new card, usually with a 0% introductory interest rate, to save on interest costs. Consolidation is dangerous if root spending habits remain unchanged. Many borrowers simply run up old cards again, resulting in twice as much debt. A safer structural alternative is a nonprofit debt management plan, or DMP. A DMP is a structured program where a counselor negotiates with creditors to lower interest rates and combine payments into one monthly bill. Through a DMP, the counselor secures lower rates and stops fees without requiring a new loan, creating a structured 3 to 5 year exit strategy. If you cannot meet your minimum monthly payments, behavioral tweaks are insufficient. You must seek a structural exit strategy to survive. This flowchart maps your current psychological state to the strategy most likely to lead you to zero. The first profile is the pure optimizer. These borrowers are highly disciplined, treating finance like an engineering project. They rarely struggle with motivation. If you fit this description, use the debt avalanche to preserve your wealth and save the maximum amount of interest. The second profile is the overwhelmed. You feel paralyzed by the sheer number of bills and struggle to keep track of multiple minimum payments. You need a visible win. You should use the debt snowball. Paying the extra interest is a worthwhile investment because it secures the momentum you need to finish the job. The third profile is the drowning. These individuals are in structural distress, unable to meet minimum monthly payments on their existing accounts. Stop attempting behavioral adjustments and enroll in a debt management plan immediately to negotiate your balances down. Financial experts often focus on the math, but personal finance is primarily about behavior. Effectiveness is measured by the end result. The strategy that helps you stay in the fight until every account balance hits zero is the one that truly works.